You're standing at the edge of a vast, serene lake. The water is crystal clear, reflecting the sky above like a perfect mirror. As you gaze into its depths, you realize that this lake represents your mind. Now, imagine pouring a cup of muddy water into that pristine lake. What happens? The entire lake becomes clouded, doesn't it? This, my friends, is what happens when we allow our minds to be cluttered with negative thoughts, doubts, and fears. We cloud our own potential, obscuring the clarity that lies within us. But here's the thing. You have the power to empty that lake, to clear your mind and rediscover the limitless potential that's been there all along. Let me tell you a story about a young woman named Sarah. Sarah was always the type of person who had a million thoughts racing through her mind at any given moment. She was constantly worried about the future, replaying past mistakes, and second-guessing every decision she made. One day, Sarah decided to take a hike in the mountains. As she climbed higher and higher, she found herself at the edge of a beautiful, still lake. Exhausted from her journey, she sat down on a nearby rock and gazed out at the water. As she sat there, an old man appeared beside her. He had a serene look on his face and a twinkle in his eye. "Beautiful, isn't it?" he said, gesturing to the lake. Sarah nodded, but couldn't help but voice her troubles. "I wish my mind could be as calm as this lake," she sighed. The old man smiled knowingly. "It can be," he said, "but first, you must empty it." Sarah looked at him, confused. "Empty it? How?" The old man picked up a small pebble and tossed it into the lake. Ripples spread out across the surface, disturbing the calm. "Your thoughts are like these ripples," he explained. "They disturb the natural stillness of your mind. But if you learn to let them pass without attaching to them, your mind will return to its natural state of calm." He went on to teach Sarah a simple meditation technique. Close your eyes, instructed, and imagine your thoughts as leaves floating down a stream. Don't try to stop them or grab them. Just watch them float by. Sarah closed her eyes and tried. At first, it was difficult. Her mind kept wanting to latch on to each thought that passed, but gradually, she began to feel a sense of calm washing over her. When she opened her eyes, the old man was gone, but the lesson he had taught her remained. From that day forward, Sarah practiced emptying her mind every day. She learned to observe her thoughts without judgment, letting them pass like clouds in the sky. And as she did, she found that her life began to change in remarkable ways. She became more focused at work, leading to a promotion she had always dreamed of. Her relationships improved as she learned to listen more deeply and react less impulsively. And most importantly, she found a sense of inner peace that she had never known before. Now, you might be thinking, that's a nice story, but how does it apply to me? Well, my friends, Sarah's journey is a metaphor for the journey we all must take to unlock our true potential. You see, our minds are incredibly powerful tools, but like any tool, they need to be used correctly. When we allow our minds to become cluttered with worries, doubts, and negative self-talk, we're essentially dulling our own blade. But when we learn to empty our minds, to clear away the mental clutter, we sharpen that blade. We become more focused, more creative, and more capable of achieving our goals. So, how do we do this? How do we empty our minds and tap into our true potential? First, we need to recognize that our thoughts are not facts. They're just thoughts. They come and go, like waves on the ocean. We don't need to attach to them or let them define us. Second, we need to practice mindfulness. This doesn't mean sitting in lotus position for hours on end, although that can certainly help. It simply means becoming more aware of our thoughts and emotions in the present moment. Try this right now. Take a deep breath. Feel the air filling your lungs. Now, exhale slowly. Notice the sensation of the breath leaving your body. That's mindfulness. It's that simple. Third, we need to cultivate a practice of letting go. This means learning to release thoughts and emotions that no longer serve us. It's like cleaning out a cluttered closet. We keep what's useful and discard the rest. Remember, emptying your mind doesn't mean becoming an empty-headed zombie. It means creating space for new ideas, fresh perspectives, and greater clarity. Imagine your mind as a garden. When it's overgrown with weeds, negative thoughts, worries, doubts, there's no room for beautiful flowers to grow. But when you clear away those weeds, you create space for something amazing to bloom. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. This all sounds great, but I'm too busy to meditate. I have a job, a family, responsibilities. I get it. Life is hectic, but here's the thing. Emptying your mind doesn't require hours of your time. It can be done in small moments throughout your day. When you're waiting in line at the grocery store, take a few deep breaths and focus on the present moment. When you're stuck in traffic, instead of getting frustrated, use it as an opportunity to practice mindfulness. When you're lying in bed at night, spend a few minutes letting go of the day's worries before you drift off to sleep. These small moments add up. They create a ripple effect that can transform your entire life. And here's the most beautiful part. As you learn to empty your mind, you'll discover that you're not losing anything. You're gaining everything. You're gaining clarity, focus, and a deep sense of inner peace. You're also gaining access to your own innate wisdom. When we quiet the constant chatter of our minds, we create space for our intuition to speak. And that inner voice often knows exactly what we need to do, even when our logical mind is still figuring it out. So I challenge you, starting today, to begin the practice of emptying your mind. Start small. Take 5 minutes each day to sit in silence, focusing on your breath. When thoughts arise, and they will, simply observe them without judgment and let them pass. As you do this, you'll begin to notice changes. Maybe you'll feel less stressed. Maybe you'll start to see solutions to problems that have been plaguing you. Maybe you'll find yourself more present in your relationships, more focused at work, more alive in every moment. Remember, this is a practice. It's called practice for a reason. You won't be perfect at it right away, and that's okay. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is progress. So be patient with yourself. Be kind to yourself. And most importantly, be consistent. A little bit every day is far more powerful than a lot. Once in a while, as you embark on this journey of emptying your mind, know that you're not alone. Millions of people around the world are discovering the power of mindfulness and meditation. You're part of a global awakening, a shift towards greater consciousness and awareness. And as you empty your mind, you're not just changing your own life. You're changing the world. Because when we become more peaceful within ourselves, we bring more peace to the world around us. So go forth, my friends. Empty your mind. Create space for greatness, and watch as your life transforms in ways you never thought possible. Remember, the power is within you. It always has been. All you need to do is clear away the clutter and let it shine through. Now, take a deep breath. Feel the potential within you, and step forward into a life of greater clarity, purpose, and joy. Your journey begins now. Empty your mind and fill your life with possibility.